guys. Welcome to A Different Life Story, my show on YouTube and as a podcast with me, your host, Stefan Neff. Today, I've got DeeJay Durante with me. DeeJay is another warrior on my show who is a passionate woman who is essentially a warrior who has always defined herself as helping others, be it in her career in the Air Force, be it in her current career, helping in the social work world to help with the underprivileged. She's the protector of the underdogs. And as such, you already hold a very big place in my heart, because that's how I see myself and how the world needs people like you. So therefore, I'm honored to have you on my show. DeeJay, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate this opportunity to be here with you.
Indeed. And we two came across each other because one of my other guests said, here, there's DeeJay. She is out there and she has got this new podcast and she wants to make a difference in this world. And I thought, okay, that's done. Does that already? I know enough about you. And then when I learned a little bit more about you, then I thought, yep. Absolutely. You're a guest on my show. Like it or lump it. I find you. I know where you live.
Thank you. So, fantastic.
DeeJay. I mean, fantastic. You have been a protector of the innocent, so to speak, and for a long time in your life. Were you always like that? Were you always a sort of leader / protector in your younger life? In the kindergarten and in primary school, or were you standing up to the bullies to protect the others? Or
I wasn't. I was the bully. I was getting bullied. I was the one that was ostracized and left out. I think there was a lot of childhood issues, abandonment issues that I carried with me, and I feel like no one wanted to accept me. And then when I was being bullied, because I was a little bit of a darker complexion and my last name was Hispanic, I didn't fit in. I was an easy target. So I was really withdrawn and I carried the anxiety with me for a long time. Anxiety has always been what's held me back for so long, but I always pushed through and persevered and tried to overcome the fears of my own insecurities. Yeah.
And it is bizarre for me to hear that and accept that, because ultimately the United States is such a melting pot. And I mean, how many people are really still pure vanilla, pure white? It is the vast majority. I mean, I think the best thing that the United States could do would be to do mandatory DNA testing. And you have to look at your DNA test. And you say, oh, I'm white, I'm Ku Klux Klan, bloody Jews. Well, look at your DNA test. Look at that, 5% Jew or 5% Hispanic or whatever it is. It would be such a beautiful thing. How could we possibly fight wars when you look at in your own DNA and think, hey, actually, would that not be nice? So where was that? You were saying that you became a target because of your Hispanic name and darker complexion. Where did you grow up?
I just grew up in Florida, Central Florida.
Wouldn't you think that in Florida is a huge amount of brown color as part of daily life?
And more so in the urban areas. We were more in the suburban areas. So, you know, unfortunately, Florida still voted red. So,
okay.
So there still is still a lot of
redneck.
Just a lot of different personal, I don't know.
Because I can be facetious here because I'm in New Zealand, okay? So that's fine. That's fine. For me, it is your hyperpolarity. Hyperpolarity? Well, funny word. Okay, your extremes in blue and red are just mind-boggling.
Right. If you look at the map, so.
But then again, I see your completely blue background. I think that's a giveaway there. So that's no MAGA hat.
I love the blues greens, but I love the ocean. So that's good for me too.
Perfect.
Aquatic colors are so soothing and therapeutic.
Okay, now I hear you. So, and of course, when you're bullied, then you never forget it, because that is happening typically at an age where it goes really, really deep.
Yeah.
And no, so same here. I was being bullied as a young child, and then I ended up in gang, being a recipient of gang violence, and these things never leave you. And you think it's childhood kind of stuff.
The traumas, I mean, you can bury them. You can pretend they never happened. You can never tell anybody and but they're always there. You carry the effects.
Exactly.
They creep out. For me, it was that insecurity that I'm not acceptable the way I am. You have to be something else. And obviously, and even now, lots of people are always fighting that, the society's expectations of this or that role, this or that character, this or that.
Yeah.
So
nuts. It is nuts. And I want to...
I know we see eye to eye on that, breaking those stereotypes and destigmatizing, and, people just need to be accepted for who they are, and they can be successful, and they can pursue and have the right to pursue their dreams and achieve them and have support along the way.
So why do you think society is so fast to drop people or consider
cancel
them
culture?
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I think it starts with closed-mindedness. I would think that it starts with some individuals that don't want to expand their mind to see differences and accept different ideologies and different belief systems. I don't know. I personally believe that there might be just the closed-mindedness is what holds a lot of people back, and lack of awareness, lack of integration, lack of experience. If they're not moving around and if you're not experiencing it, you're not going to know either. So there's a lack of knowledge. So you have to, and I think that's something that if we're showing, hey, someone with this type of mental health issue or disability or illness can do it, so can I. And it's okay if I do this or do that in my, or have something that most people would think is unusual or peculiar. But I just, that small judgment over something physical or something that they can observe, it's just unnecessary, because you really need to give people the opportunity to be who they truly are and really judge them on their character and what they have to offer on their internal intrinsic gifts. That's just the way I am.
And and there already is a problem, because disability is, first of all, a weird word, already a tainted word. But disability can be without any outward signs whatsoever. If you're paralyzed by your anxiety disorder, that is highly, highly disabled. If you are disabled because someone shot your arm off on a battlefield, well, that makes you very obviously disabled, but you can be a very, very happy man inside. So what does define you? Where, how, and that's where we need to work on our society, I think. There are so many young women who are so focused on how they dress, and that they, oh my God, I've got 1 kilogram too much fat on me. I'm disgusting. Whilst you look at them and you think, you are stunning, girl. You're absolutely gorgeous. So it's that focus on that one thing. Does that 1 kilogram of too much define you? Is that really you? 1 kilogram of fat? Or is the whole beauty of your being, is that there? And but the two of us we are sort of preaching to the choir, aren't we here? So
Oh yeah.
I mean,
But really it's to amplify and just, advocate that we can continue to move forward, and we want to encourage others to move forward and keep going, no matter if it feels right to you and it's good for the general public. You're really out to help, and you're really out to empower. You need support, then you got to stick together. You got to connect now more than ever. You got to find ways to get out there and connect and try to find people that really can understand you and keep you motivated to keep going and not give up. Because that support system, what we were talking about originally, is what continues to push you along the way. We all know it's when you have that difficult relationship that you start to buckle. People can really block you, and then you turn to internalize that. Once you start internalizing what you're getting from the external, instead of looking internally and shining that outward to the external and clearing the path. And that's what I like to do. I like to clear the path and shed the light and let others come and, enjoy that positive energy and know that it's okay. Keep going. You're not alone, right? Walk forward. There's more of us here. I'll raise my hand with you. I've been through that too. That's all we want to hear is, hey, it happened to me too. Or yeah, kind of been there. I understand. And that just makes it all better. Then you're like, okay, whew.
And to see that it can be so enlightening. I mean, when I was in the throes of drinking far too much, and then came into rehab, I certainly felt so alone, and I could not imagine that anyone could feel like I did. I was hopeless, and it was all me. It was only a pity party that went on for years in my head. And then to actually see others admitting to having been in the same boat and now seeing their life very different, that was so powerful for me to recognize that here are these people, and they were just like me. They were in the past high functioning or not so high functioning addicts.
Right. Absolutely.
Now they got their shit together. And I thought, And the same with depression. And the same with anxiety disorder and PTSD and trauma and bullying, etc. So you are not alone. But that is when you're the recipient of such behavior or such conditions, you can't see it. And therefore, it's so important that you're going out there and you're starting your podcast, for which I commend you, for which I say thank you very much, because here you are sharing your precious time, giving all this effort and providing a platform for people with a disability to learn, have insights, probably down the line to connect and to support each other.
Yes, that keeps coming up. Something I want to touch on that you mentioned, working with different groups. It could be from someone that is coming from cancer, recovering from cancer, or someone with lost to suicide, a relative. Those support groups. Yes, therapy is important, and yes, medication contributes, but the support groups, the support systems, really fundamentally, because if you can't get to the doctor, you can always go get to your support group at least, to help you and guide you and keep pushing you till you can get to the doctor, the next appointment, or to the therapist. And that's free. And I always encourage people to find a local support group for whatever it is. Find people that will say, me too, I understand. I understand. Those words are so powerful. I've been through it too, right? It just can change everything. Once you hear it, you're like, oh, it lifts such a load.
And indeed, the Me Too movement just proved that to us in the last 3-4 years. And it is amazing how suddenly taboos are being brought out into the open. And whilst it is such a shame that these things still happen in our society, they're probably happening far more common than we'd like to believe.
Statistics are going up. We know that.
Exactly. And so here we are, though, by actually speaking out, we are breaking down the taboo for what it is, but rather turn it into a fact that we can deal with. If we know that family harm is so prevalent out there, and it's often fueled by addiction and fueled by now quarantine, etc., then now we have got a fact, not something that we don't talk about. And therefore we can actually bring it out, discuss, brainstorm, and suddenly someone somewhere comes up with a solution where you think, why didn't we think about that earlier? And suddenly you've got a solution, and maybe a movement is starting to do that, isn't it? And that's exactly why I hold my
those little sparks.
Isn't it? Exactly. So that is the challenge to us out there. And that is the challenge in every aspect of our society. There are shitloads of problems that this world is facing. Now, you can't tackle all of them at once. Don't even try it. But equally, don't just stand there and say, "Oh my God."
Pick one part. Pick one thing at least. Start there. I'll start with destigmatizing. Let's just talk about it, right?
Exactly.
Me, you, we've been through it.
Exactly.
Put a
right.
face. You want to put my face with it? Put my face on it.
The poster child. So you're the poster child of what? Okay. Now you have to own up.
Well, but that's, you just want to, my face, your face, our faces, Nancy's face, all our faces. We're in it together. We're here to keep going and keep bringing more along. Hey, you've been through it. Come on, you're okay.
That's right.
Dust off.
So why don't we take some figures out there just to actually say, just give you some facts. We're talking about facts here. So if you are low in mood and you're down and all, and you think, oh, fuck, it could very well be that you're depressed. Guess what? That's nothing bad. This is just a disease. Just as much as you got a cold, you have sprained your ankle, now you have got a broken mind, and it's called depression. And depression hit, the chance of you having that is 1 in 3 in your lifetime. Welcome to the club. Postnatal depression, the baby blues, is so common and often still undiagnosed. And women suffer again and again and again. And it drives me nuts. Speaking of which, my steps to sobriety is my journey, the book that I've written. But I've written, for example, a chapter in there about postnatal depression and the messages that women with postnatal depression would have loved to hear whilst they're in the depth of their suffering. And doing something like that highlighted so much to me. And I wrote this book and learned more about that, how prevalent all these problems are. So depression, huge out there. Anxiety, 1 in 5 young people suffer actually from anxiety disorder that can be diagnosed. You have got PTSD, which is huge out there. And you don't have to be on a battlefield to get PTSD, okay? I was the recipient of gang violence, so I had a nice humdinger of PTSD for a big part of my life. You keep going. There's chronic pain. Chronic pain affects at least 1 in 3. Now, if you now say that each of them has at least one significant other, so that means half of the population is essentially affected by chronic pain. So these things are out there. And some of them are absolute big taboos still in our society. They are not sexy. They don't fit in our perfect picture, social media kind of environment. If someone asks you, hey, how are you? Fine. And fuck's sake, honestly, are you fine? Are you really fine? And sometimes I have to ask even my friends. I have to ask them, hey, how are you? Oh, all good, all good, all good. No, how are you? Okay, well, actually. And it is so important, okay? Let's ask and let's listen and let's see what is really going on. And that is your mission. How cool is that? How cool is that? When did you get your idea for this podcast?
It actually started a few months ago. I went 2020 and COVID. It really allowed me a lot of internal growth, exploration, and being able to have all that alone time, spending more time with yourself. So it's, I personally took advantage of that and I really enjoyed. And I think that I took the time that I had to make the best of it and really be able to put this together and work and network and connect and plan and prepare. I believe in the planning and the preparation and the research and, just not throwing some garbage out there. I have a good mission, I have a good purpose, and I want it to really reflect that this is serious. We can have fun and, we want to keep it positive, but this is important as well. And it's just, it's really done well. I've really gotten so much appreciation and grateful individuals that really say, man, I really appreciate you kind of putting yourself out there and talking about that. LinkedIn is not the easiest platform to start that. And I'm streaming to 3 different platforms, to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Silver Fox Talks is the handle that you can search. But, once I get LinkedIn Live, I want to keep that conversation there because so many people finding employment and working, with people with disabilities, looking for employment and focusing on getting them to that, being able to get back to work, being able to be self-sufficient, building themselves up, the confidence, the self-esteem, then the technical skills. How do I interview again? So, it's kind of bringing those 2 together. That's how I got here. It's bringing what I do from the normal day-to-day and my passion for wanting to be a voice for others and letting their mayhem be known, because we all have a little mayhem that we're dealing with while we're trying to look like we're put together. We're trying to make it look like we're put together.
Yeah,
but
right.
while everything's falling apart behind the scenes.
Exactly.
The dogs are barking. Who knows what's, the toilet's flooding. Right?
Oh God,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
See, that's the show special. Okay, yeah, you're sitting here with me. Well, we are not live. You're lucky there, but still,
right.
Life is just laughing its little head off and said,
You just
"Hey, look,
take
she's
it, go.
she's busy now. Come on, let's do it." No,
yeah, but
that's the mayhem, isn't it? That's the mayhem in everyday's life.
And we still got to show up.
Exactly.
We still got to show up. We've made commitments. We got to be accountable.
Yeah.
And we're going to, if, we say we're going to be here, we're going to be here. And if we say we're going to be there, we better be there.
Yeah.
And I just think that is really what counts. Again, that stuff on the inside, responsible, accountability, commitment, service, just really, that's, for me, are gifts, again, that I want to share and be available to individuals and help them share their mayhem, help them share their story. Like, we're all in this together. Yep.
But also here you are, you're living example of the importance of integrity and the importance of showing up. And I think that's the key thing. You will not always be 100%. You will not always be perfect, but you're showing up and you're giving your best. Now, in your case, you did the 6 Ps. You prevented the 6 Ps. Poor prior planning results in piss poor performance. So you actually avoided that. Exactly. So, and it is beautiful, beautiful. But here you are. We all are on different parts of our journey, and we all have things to learn. And by just opening up and admitting, hey, I think I could learn something here, and actually listening to your show and listening or reading something along these lines somewhere, you suddenly open up a door for yourself in your mind where now a new renewed passion can flood in, or knowledge can flood in, or new ideas and creativity can flood in, where you think, actually, I've got this idea. And who knows, this idea might be the new internet in 20 years' time. And it arrived from a crazy brain spark that you had after listening to one of us talking here on our shows. And you think,
right.
I remember.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
And
Yeah.
that's how cool would that be? It is.
It's great.
So both of us, we are catalysts. We are, I don't know, the poker to stir up the fire.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's right. And I like that.
That's okay. For a good cause. It's all for like a good thing. I can't have someone come and tell me that I'm doing this for the wrong reasons.
No.
Not one person can come and say, you're doing this for the wrong reasons. No, I'm not. I don't make a penny. I work.
Yeah.
I'm like everybody else, and I make very normal money like everybody else. So if I just give my time just to amplify voices.
But then again, that is not necessarily so much a need, because one of the taboos that we need to address is money. And funnily enough, we all like to eat. Funnily enough, we all like to have a shirt on our shoulders. You know, it is. And if you don't have money, you can't actually do that. So there will hopefully be ways that the two of us can also monetize all the time that we put in there. So I think it's all a matter of us doing the right things, but only because you're good and honest, etc. It doesn't mean to say that you're Florence Nightingale and that you die a pauper down the line. Okay. And I think that's another taboo. So I think the more we can address the normal life out there and bring people, give them the hope and the skills to do so, the better it will be.
Yes. Just admitting that A, you're going through a transition. B, being open to changes, and whatever happens, because you're being more vulnerable, which is the next, you have to be vulnerable. I'm putting myself out there. I don't know what's going to bring, what it's going to do, but I have a good heart, and I've been, doing it with intention, with purpose. So hopefully that is, and my mentors always said, you want to make impact before income.
So true.
Yeah. Service before self.
Those
are good modern. Those are just simple for me, easy to remember, because it's just easy and true to me.
Service before self. That's a beautiful saying, actually. Yeah, it is. Okay. No, it's beautiful. And we both are on a journey that will not stop in a hurry. It is
right. There's no
amazed.
Defined end I'm trying to get to. Yeah. I'm just kind of going with what life's bringing me at the moment.
That's right.
And enjoying it, and hopefully sharing it with others.
The cool thing is you will be on a journey, and who knows where your show is developing into and who is coming onto your show. And it's the same with me. Things are changing. My story, my show started as my steps to sobriety, focusing on addiction and mental health. But very soon it became clear that the addiction is only like the tip of an iceberg, whilst you really, what we want to talk about is the rest that you don't see, the trauma, all these kind of things. So from the word go, then my show had already morphed, and I morphed it. I changed the title to A Different Life Story to fit that morphing, to actually align it again. So who knows what the name of your show will be in the future?
Exactly.
But right now the mayhem is good, because mayhem is so reflective of what is happening to this world. So please, for fuck's sake.
Thank you.
No. DeeJay, you're an amazing woman. You have got a heart the size of Florida. And
Thank you.
It is time that we bring you out there, and that you get the beautiful audience that you deserve. So guys, if you listen to that, go to DeeJay, listen to her podcast, download all the previous episodes so they get her numbers up, and then we beat the algorithms, and leave a nice review if you feel so inspired with her podcast. That is all how you can help a podcast to grow, and tell your friends and say, hey guys, she's not too bad. Just let's listen to that a bit, hey? So
Thank
cool.
you.
Oh, absolutely. So again, give us the name of your podcast.
You can let your mayhem be known, but it's on YouTube and I'm on Twitch. So Silver Fox Talks. You have to. It's live. It's live.
There you
It's
go.
a live stream. It's interactive.
Cool.
So you have to follow me so you get the notifications when I go live, and you can catch me and we can talk right in the moment.
Cool. Now,
so YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Silver Fox Talks, and you'll get the notifications for my show.
Fantastic. Now, who would you love to have on your show? Who are guests that you would love to talk to? And maybe one big name that you would love to have on your show.
Oh, that's a good question. I've never given much thought.
George Clooney. Matt Damon. I don't know. What kind of girl are you?
I don't know. That's a good question. But really, I just love to share the stories of individuals that have trauma, that have been through, that are going through, and they really need help, and they want to offer their story to share and let other people know that they're not alone.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's so many.
I want people that want to share their trauma to comfort others.
Indeed. And it is so beautiful to share. That's what I find, to make sense of your own trauma, to make sense of the pain and suffering that you have gone through. And now you come out the other end. And by sharing your trauma, it makes suddenly sense. And you leave a legacy, and you know that it was not for nothing that you have gone through the shit. And that is, I wouldn't have it any other way. People ask me, when I wrote my book, I gave a copy to my GP, to my family doctor. And he looked at it. He had not realized that I had written that. And his immediate response was, "Are you sure that you want to put that out there? You as a doctor?" kind of thing. And I looked in his eyes and said, yes.
A little too personal.
Exactly right. And I said, no, every single time I share that, even with patients, sometimes someone comes in and I can see them from a mile away that, okay, you're an alcoholic man. I recognize you. And if you then say, well, I've had my own journey and blah, blah, suddenly their eyes open up and they think, wow. And I have yet to come across someone who actually takes offense, etc. On the contrary, it suddenly humanizes me and takes me down from the pedestal of a doctor to actually, I'm a decent guy who knows his shit in my profession, but who also has gone through the trauma and is therefore a different man, is far more approachable. So that is such a beautiful thing. So therefore, if you guys out there have got a story to tell, then please get in touch with DeeJay. And you may very well, your story that you tell to DeeJay may very much be a life-changing moment for someone else who needs to hear that message. So don't hold back. Get in touch with DeeJay, or in actual fact, if you think he would be a good match for both of our shows, hey, let's team up. Let's have fun here. That's right. So we've got different platforms, different people come to us. So here we are. That is, let's shout it from the rooftops that disability does not need to define you. Okay. So much to say, so much to highlight here, but bottom line is
focus on your strengths.
Exactly.
Focus on your strengths. Focus on your gifts.
If you had the chance to go back, DeeJay, in time, you've got a time machine, you got one trip to go back to your younger self, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh, stop being so scared. And stop being so insecure. You're fine. You're going to be fine. Stop being so insecure.
Same here. Exactly the same thought. You can do it. And stop being such a big mouth. Because I was a big mouth to compensate for my insecurity. Okay. just, just
overachiever,
I
military, do this club, do that sport, win, bring home the trophies and the medals, and then everyone will think you're so fantastic.
Whilst you're still doubting yourself and look in the mirror and think, oh my God, I know.
Yes. So
God. Well, the only
love
difference.
love yourself sooner. Learn to love yourself sooner.
Oh, hell yes. And that's our duty as parents too, to actually go out there and model that and show them ways where they can succeed and where they can be proud of themselves. And by each of these little moments that we create for them to start love themselves, we take away the chance that they get massively derailed by some shit happening, or that they get sidetracked on the road of a quick fix, i.e. alcohol or drugs, etc.
Right.
That is
instant gratification, anything that gives you that instant gratification. Right. No, you want to teach them to hold true to their values, and that what brings them true happiness is that self-worth, the internal self-worth.
100% true. DeeJay, you're a fantastic woman. You are. I'm so pleased that I came across you and that you're here to make this world a little bit of a better place. The world needs it, and the world needs to hear your message. And you guys out there, the world needs to hear your stories as well. So get in touch with DeeJay. If you look down there in the description of the podcast and of the YouTube video, you will find her social media handles. So go out there and speak up, say me too, and open up. And the moment you do that, your life will change. I guarantee you that. You will attract people that you never thought possible in your life, and your life will change to the better, no doubt about that. You're going to be stronger with every time you tell your story. You're going to be more confident. And suddenly, even if your story was dark and has so far defined you, you might find that there's now suddenly a silver lining appearing around this dark cloud, and you suddenly grow stronger and stronger. So Silver Fox, literally the perfect name for the silver lining that you show to your guests.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for that. That is perfect.
Indeed. So DeeJay, thank you so much for being on my show. You guys out there, look after yourself. And right now, make one decision, make one call, one little thing that you do in order to make your life a little bit better, and maybe that of the people around you. You can't change the world immediately, but you can make one little decision. What will it be? When you stop this recording, when you stop listening to this podcast, what will you do? Don't give up. Make your life better. Make this world a little bit better. One tiny baby step after the other. DeeJay, look after yourself, and you guys out there, look after yourself. Bye.
Bye.